the other game looking like a French exchange gone wrong. Not sure who it's gone wrong for, probably more white than black. But this one definitely not a French exchange. This came from a Nimzo Indian. And just to take us back, Jude, a few moves. Typical Nimzo, black had taken on c3, damaged the pawn. I remember looking at this years ago. I even had this position in a British Championship once, and the old move used to be d5 for white. But then it was discovered, I think at some point, that black just ignores everything, like not taking here, because then the white knight gets to d4 and it gets quite messy. Becomes really complicated, but black should be playing, I think knight a6 and knight e7 are the same, and knight d4, knight c5, and this is quite healthy for black, who will play queen f6, will castle, even at the cost of a couple of pawns. White's structure is really bad, but it looks like Pragg was out of book, because not only did he spend 15 minutes on f5, but after c5, which even around 10 years ago when I last looked at this, was the top move of the engine. Like, even older engines that hated sacrificing pawns, even that was a recommendation. So I'm surprised Pragg is surprised. But after knight d7, he looks like he's found some sensible moves. And what would you make of this position? Looks aggressive for black, but can he back it up? Can he keep pushing pawns? Or does he have to maybe take a chill and just castle?
Well, I like these kind of positions for black, of course, but I understand when someone says that, you know what, you have attack, but after all it's nothing, and still you have some pawn structure which you're not going to be happy, because after all, where are you going to put your king, right? Are you going to castle short, where the king's side is very weak? When once black wants to push pawns, especially f4, then the diagonal b1 h7 could be deadly dangerous for black. If we don't castle, then to have the king in the center, it's also not so much fun. But at the same time, black has a lot of energy to play this. I mean, I can visualize knight d7 to f6 and maybe h5, h4 to try to highlight the strange placement of the g3 bishop.
Yeah, it's not without risk what Fabiano's done, and he has been thinking now for 18 minutes. Now he's finally out of prep. Yeah, I think the reason c5, as well as getting rid of a weak pawn, the reason c5 was, as far as I remember, quite an important move, is because black often tried to castle queenside, and if black is able to play c5 himself, totally block that side of the board, then the king's super. he has lost his advantage. He had a winning position a bit earlier. Now only move for Pragg is king to c6. We saw this earlier. d5 blocks the black bishop, and therefore the g2 pawn survives. d5 rook f2, and white actually gets an attack against the black king. Jude, king c6 looked like maybe a little bit of calculation, but not too difficult.
Yeah, but basically there is no other move. I tried d5, true, but still, I don't think it's a difficult move for Praggnanandhaa, and he also had plenty of time.
Yeah. Okay, rook f2, and here we thought that king c7 was the best solution, and this check can then be blocked by the black bishop. It's very important that, like, tempo by tempo, he couldn't defend the g2 pawn, and white can't create a pass pawn. King c7.
But actually for black, after rook c2, king b8 was also a draw.
Ah, wait.
I believe.
d8.
B. King b8. B.
Yes, I misheard. This is, yeah, that's true. No more checks. Everything draws. Fortress incoming. Okay, we'll see. Very surprised there's no blue arrow attached to this one. Looks like by far the most sensible move.
And it's on the board.
Okay, king c7. Fabiano must be frustrated. Played such a good game, but just missing one trick to try and press this further. But great defense from Praggnanandhaa.
Yeah, but it's not easy when you have this, we have a draw.
Not an easy game there for either player.
Queen versus rook, bishop, knight, and queen and 3 pawns. I mean, it's quite tricky.
Yeah, tricky game. Great defense by Pragg. A draw